Now, with that serious health scare for Game of Thrones star Emilia Clarke. The actress revealed she suffered 2 aneurysms that nearly killed her. Amy's here with the details. Good morning, Amy.
That's right, George. Good morning. Emilia had those 2 brain aneurysms just as she was rising to fame with the series. She struggled in private, but now she is talking about her fears of losing her ability to act or even losing her life.
I am Daenerys Stormborn. I am the dragon's daughter.
She's best known as the Mother of Dragons, even walking through fire on the hit HBO series Game of Thrones. But now Emilia Clarke revealing for the first time that behind the scenes, she nearly died, suffering a brain aneurysm soon after filming the first season of the series. In 2011, 25-year-old Clarke was at a gym working out with a trainer when she felt a terrible headache coming on.
I'm doing the plank. And I suddenly get this unbelievable pain that felt very much like an elastic band around my brain. Excruciating.
Telling The New Yorker she immediately knew something was very, very wrong.
I knew in that moment, I knew beyond a shadow of a doubt that headache like that and throwing up means brain damage.
Clarke was rushed to the hospital and diagnosed with a subarachnoid hemorrhage, a rare life-threatening type of stroke. The young actress taken into emergency surgery. During recovery, an alarming discovery. She could not remember her name. Nonsense words tumbled out of my mouth, and I went into a blind panic.
I wasn't prepared to make it. It was in that moment I asked them to just let me die.
After nearly a month in the hospital, Clarke was released. She was back to work in a matter of weeks, telling The New Yorker that she sipped on morphine in between interviews. Still, doctors warned her that a smaller aneurysm remained, a ticking time bomb.
I was every day thinking I was going to die, and I didn't want to do that on set.
In 2013, after shooting the 3rd season of Game of Thrones, that second aneurysm doubling in size. This time, doctors needed to cut through her skull to operate.
They had to wake me up to say, listen, we have to put you into open brain surgery. We have to cut your head open and save your life.
Doctors weren't sure she would make it, but Clarke, much like the character she portrays, was determined to prevail. And now, ahead of the final season of Game of Thrones.
Hi guys. So today, I launched a charity.
Clarke hoping to help others suffering from brain injuries and strokes with her new charity called Same You. Emilia is showing hope for the future, saying she is happy to see the end of the Game of Thrones story, even though some of us aren't, and beginning of whatever comes next for her. But how remarkable is her story, guys?
Boy, it sure is. Want to learn a lot more about it right now. Thank you. And we're joined by neurologist Carolyn Brockington right now. So Emilia said she passed that at times when she was younger. Is there really a connection there to the aneurysm?
Not really, because an aneurysm ruptures and causes a problem right away. So if you think of the arteries that supply the brain as pipes, it's a weakened area on the pipe that allows this ballooning out. But in this case, the balloon is filled with blood, right? So we know that when balloons get bigger, they rupture and blood spills in the brain. So that's why we call that a bleeding stroke. Subarachnoid hemorrhage bleeding underneath the arachnoid or one of the layers of the brain.
People get headaches all the time. People get nauseous all the time. How do you know it's a sign?
Because people are going to say, hey, I had a headache yesterday. Is this a
Exactly.
problem? Right. The classic description is the worst headache of your life. All of a sudden, it feels like your head's going to explode. So that's a serious sign that you have to get to the hospital right away. Or a change in the character of your headache. You know, if you have a headache every Monday because you're going to work, not that type of headache, a different type of headache that you haven't experienced before. That's a sign that means that you should go to the hospital.
Are there other warning signs you should look out for?
Sometimes she had nausea, felt dizzy, all of a sudden vomiting. People get weakness on one side, problems with speech, problems with vision. So all of a sudden, suddenly, almost like a light switch, you're going to feel the deficits or the headache and have a problem.
How about treatment? Emilia eventually needed surgery. Are there non-invasive treatments?
Well, it's amazing because there are 2 types. So the surgical treatment, neurosurgery, where they actually go in. So again, you think of an aneurysm like a balloon. They're clipping the neck of the balloon so the aneurysm deflates. Another type of procedure is endovascular, in the blood vessel itself, going up into the aneurysm and packing it with all these coils so that it deflates and they can secure the aneurysm so it doesn't rupture.
She was so young when all of this happened.
Right. You have to go in right away. I mean, we talked before about stroke, young, old, etc. So it really doesn't matter, but you have to know the warning signs, go into the hospital and get treated because people do the best if they come in right away.
Thank you, doctor.
Thank
you, Doc.
Jinx.
Yeah, but that was a nice right there.
Well, hey there, GMA fans. Robin Roberts here. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Lots of great stuff here. So go on, click the subscribe button right over here. to get more of awesome videos and content from GMA every day, anytime. We thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the morning on GMA.